Alright, now, are you live now? Alright, so we are now sharing chat. Cool. Alright, yep, that looks right on my side. Let me just make sure. Testing, testing. Ooh, who's user? Why do you come up as user 162811986? What's going on? If you guys can hear me, what's going on? That is from your chat. That's really weird, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know. It's you, but oh, that's GX on an alt. For real. All right, guys, we're gonna be with you guys in just a second. You guys know the deal. If you guys want to join my lobby, go ahead and join my lobby. We're gonna be doing some car-themed races and stuff like that. We are going to try to unlock the whatchamacallit today, the Corvette, or get as close as we can. What's up, 2 a.m. Gav? Well, no, but like you can start going through the quests. You can like we need to do like 80K. Randy, you might have. I'm not sure what's happening, KC. All right, let me go. All right, guys. Here's what we're doing, guys, tonight. We're starting a new thing. Are we streaming together? It doesn't look like we're tagged. Maybe we are. All right, we're starting a new thing, guys. We've been doing Cars and Coffee for a little bit here. Cosmic has been doing jumping in here too. We decided to make it a little bit different with vehicles and video games. Alright, brought that up. Alright, so you can hear everybody. I can change that scene from there to there. Right, so we can play some games. If anybody wants to join my lobby, now's the time. Go ahead and join my lobby. We're going to do some races, some car stuff. We're going to work towards unlocking the Corvette. Alright, we got KJ in there.
Alright, here.
Cosmic, I don't know. Are you going to join too, Cosmic?
Yeah, I will. You'll have to give me a second so I can
yeah,
figure out how I'm going to do this audio so it's not hearing double.
right.
I might just have...
So guys, do bear with us while we are... There might be a couple of audio issues today, which there already was one, right? But just trying to get this set up. What's going? Can I join? Absolutely, it's Booger. We're doing some races, and Cosmic and we're starting a video podcast. So we're going to play video games and talk about cars. Today we will be talking about the Corvettes in general. All right, guys. Welcome to this is technically episode 2 of vehicles and video games. Today we are talking about Corvettes. We are racing our way to unlock the summer road trip quests in Fortnite. My co-host here, I'm going to let you go, Cosmic.
I'm Cosmic. I've been working as a mechanic for 3 years. 3 years at a shop called Firestone, and now I work at a Subaru dealership. So.
Yeah. And guys, a lot of you know me. I'm BCool. I worked probably 10, 15 years as a prop master. And got the chance to drive a lot of different cars. I'm now a lead man in film and video, and it's different than what you might think. But I'm also a what was I gonna call a jack stand mechanic, if you will. So yeah, I put those dangerous jack stands underneath the car and crawl under it and hope it doesn't crush me. But
Get out of here.
today we are talking about Corvettes.
Thank you, Casey.
We're gonna get this. Let's get this ready going. Everybody ready up? Let's get this match going. As we play, we're gonna talk about Corvettes. We're gonna try these quests here for the Corvette quests. Not sure if you've checked them out, but
It's like
we've got 80,000 experience
Yeah.
and creator-made with party with friends. Another thing we have to do is favorite a creator from the creator page. So let's make sure we do that tonight too, guys.
I think all of it's
All
just XP that you have to get.
Yeah, it's pretty much all XP. We will be doing.
I guess the cat was a.
The cat was a hit.
The cat was a hit.
What's happening, Tracker? How are you? Tracker, if you want, we just started a match, but you're more than welcome to join us. This is a multi kind of round thing. We'll jump out and jump back in. Ninja has 3 of them done. That's awesome. All right, so first things first. And guys, remember, when I ask a question, I'm not necessarily directing it directly to Cosmic. Cosmic's going to answer me, but type in chat your answers, right? The Corvette. Cosmic, do you remember the history? What tell us a little bit about the Corvette. What do you remember? What do you know?
The Corvette was made back, or at least the first one was made back in what was it? I forgot.
I think it was 55.
Yeah,
if memory serves correct.
Maybe
Maybe a bit. Might have been 53.
Oh no, hold on. Let's see. It was.
'Cause I think
the first Corvette was produced June 30th, 1953. Hand built in Flint, Michigan. So, Michigan,
Nice.
Motor City, or I guess that's technically Detroit. But only 300 of them were made at that time.
That's insane.
All of which.
Could you
were
imagine
quite
only
rare.
300 production vehicles? Right?
Right. No, that's. I mean, nowadays a lot of the like supercars are like that. But
Yeah, all the
I
ones
mean,
that are made by hand.
but those are also supercars. This was a white convertible Corvette with a red interior.
Oh no, I jumped too close to the building and died. This is weird. I think because KJ was in the same locker as me, I did not spawn in with a car.
I'm still
It's okay.
loading.
You're still loading. That's crazy. Half the people are in. All right, so 1955. Oh wow, a lot of people didn't load it. Guys, let's go back to lobby. Let's take it back to lobby. Pick up some people here.
Yes. So while we do that, I got connection lost, anyways. So, first one was made in 1953, and then you have 8 generations since then. You have the C1, C2, all these are C. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is the one that we are currently on, and which is also the Corvette that we're going to be getting. So that's what the C8 looks like. The C8 has more of a supercar look. It looks more like a Ferrari than anything.
It really does.
But that model started in 2020. The
So
C7.
so outside of that supercar look, what's different about the C8 than many of the other guys? We went back to lobby if you can.
So
We didn't grab everybody, so
the C8, from what I understand, the C7 you can get in manual. The C8 you cannot. You can only get it in automatic because of that center console that it has. If you've ever looked on the inside of the
well, one thing, so where I was going with this is the C8 is also the first mid-engine Corvette.
that is true. Yes, it is. I completely forgot about that.
So the C8 is the first mid-engine Corvette, and that's I think that's really cool. And I think that kind of so that's one of my questions for tonight. Is the Corvette a supercar? Do you consider it a supercar or not?
See, and that's interesting too, because a lot of the supercars, if not all of them, from what I understand, are all mid or rear engine
Right.
cars. So you'd have to compare like the performance specs uh, of the.
Well, I think one thing that technically makes a car a supercar is the production numbers. Like you said, you brought it up earlier, right? The original Corvette was 300. Now that was probably like testing the waters, seeing if somebody even wanted a car that like that. Man,
Right.
this is not working, right? Now, the let's try this one here. Car bash rattle.
Ninja says
So
sports.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's 100% sports car. Giving matchmaking error. Yes, guys, I know it's giving all of us matchmaking error. I don't know what's going on.
Actually, I completely forgot. I actually have a McLaren set as my car here. So
McLaren is definitely a supercar.
yes,
I kind of feel like Corvette's trying to like jump into that, at least that supercar look and feel, right? With the C8. Like I said, it looks a lot like Ferrari. I'm kind of curious who designed the C8. I wonder if it might even be. A lot of times when you have the same designer.
let me see here. Let's see if this is anything.
A lot of times when you have the same designer.
Here's the thing: the C8 is the first Corvette to have a rear mid-engine configuration. Um, that is
Yeah.
GM's or General Motors. General Motors owns a bunch of the American car groups. But
Right.
that was GM's first since the 1984 Pontiac Fiero.
Oh yeah, the Fiero was a mid-engine, wasn't it?
I'm not
Yeah.
seeing anything on who designed it.
So I brought up all right, the C8 design was a collaborative effort led by several key individuals at Chevrolet. Taj Jechter, the chief engineer, spearheaded the project, while Kirk Benning served as the executive designer and the manager, and Tom Peters was the exterior chief. So let's look up Tom Peters. We look up Tom Peters.
Ninja just put in chat the design team there, or just names that you have said.
So he's best known for doing the C6 Corvette.
C6 looks alright. I mean, I like C7 a lot better. Now,
The C7's pretty cool.
if I got a C6, that would make a lot more sense because the first two things in my username are C6.
That's what I was gonna ask actually. Is what's your favorite? What like if you had to pick a Corvette, what would be your favorite and why?
Okay, to pick a favorite, I'm gonna have to just go with the C7. It looks so good. If you put the right like body mods on it, it just becomes so aggressive. Oh my god! But it just looks so aggressive. Even just stock itself, from the headlights to the taillights, the back of it looks so good. It just everything about the C7 looks good.
All right, so you're a C7 guy. I did get a chance to drive the C7. C7 was a really fun vehicle to drive. But personally, so all right, just a couple things. One, I'm a big mid-engine fan. I love mid-engine cars. So now, um, so I haven't driven the C8. I'm really actually curious to drive it. I really want to.
Even in my 3 years, I've only driven. I think I've driven a. Nah, I have. I have. I've driven a C6
Yep.
before, or a C7. I've also driven C5. Why? Oh,
Oh,
that's good.
C5. Oh, so a buddy of mine has a Stingray, the original, 70s one, and I would like. I think that's probably my favorite. Like outside of the C8, which I haven't driven, I really like the Stingray. I really like that. You know, like the nice curvy lines over the front fenders and all that stuff. Like
Well,
to me, it looks awesome.
the thing is, that's a lot of. I think that's. I mean, the Stingray is its own thing, but it's one of their like trims that you can get.
Right.
I also like
Yeah,
where they
and
put
I mean
it.
that's like SS and RS and stuff like that,
Right.
right? That's really what that is, right? The Stingray, just like Raptor, is a trim for Ford. You know, it's really just like you said, it's now a trim rather than a look. Whereas I feel like the '70s was legit, like that was the original Stingray, right?
Mhm. And
Um,
uh, yeah, because I think some of them like it's legit Sting. Yeah, the
so
2014 Corvette Sting. Which,
let's go over that. Let's go over that C7. Give us some stats. How much horsepower does that sucker have?
I'm not too sure. Let me.
I think it's 450 off the top of my head.
Is that what your guess is going to be?
It's either 350 or 450. I know it's a 50. Oh, I'm gonna die.
What
So I just.
what model year do you want to check? That goes anywhere from um, the C7 is anywhere from 2014 to
All right, I think I drove a
17.
2015.
Okay.
Oh, 400. The 6.2 liter V8 offers 455 horsepower.
Now is that
It can
just
accelerate from 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds.
now is that just I mean, oh well, yeah, no, they've made uh, a lot of advancements for that engine because yeah, 455 to 650 horsepower from 2015 compared to the what we looked at. I think the new ones actually no, they still.
All right, so here's my quick C7 story. This was around about 2015. There was bad winter storms, and I'm up in New York, and we were flying out of LaGuardia, and all of the flights coming in were being canceled because the runway was kaput, right? The runway was like icy enough that you couldn't land, but not icy enough that you couldn't take off.
Mhm.
So we took off. We flew to Florida, and I can't remember. I seem to remember like some sort of reason that we didn't get off the plane right away. Like we sat on the tarmac a little bit. Anyway, we finally get a chance to get in. We're standing in line for our rental car, and we stood in line for an hour and a half. It was miserable.
Mhm.
And like I think we're there for the weekend. I think we got like a mid-size SUV, something not too crazy, right?
Right.
And I finally get up to the line, and the guy's like, "Well, sir, we only have a minivan, and it's not available for another 45 minutes." And I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I think I even said to the guys like, "I just stood in line for an hour and a half. I'm not waiting another 45 minutes. This is ridiculous." Like, we reserved a car, The guy's like, yeah, I know, nobody's taking off, so nobody's returning their cars. So like, okay, fair enough. So, I'm like reluctantly saying yes to this minivan, and I'm like, man, I got to take the kids to soccer in this thing and all that stuff. Like, what the heck, you know? So, I just like look down the line. And there's an advertisement for the C7 Corvette. It's like rent today. I'm like, all right. Do you have any of these available? And the guy's like, yeah, they're all available.
Wow.
Like, all right. I was like, all right, how much for that? And originally, I can't remember what it was. He was like, it's like 120 a day. I'm like, I do not want to spend $120 a day for a C7. Like, I mean, a Corvette sounds cool, but I don't really want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I say to the guy, I'm like, I'll tell you what, if you can do 80 a day, I'm deal. I was probably spending like 50 a day anyway from whatever I was getting, so 80 wasn't that bad. The guy punches some numbers and is like, yeah, we can do that. I'm like, sounds good. So, like I said, it was winter time, ice storm, people weren't leaving, right? It was literally the coldest winter on record at that point in Florida, right? We've got a convertible yellow Corvette. I think it was in 2015 from what I remember.
That's awesome.
And so I'm like, all right, cool. And as we're walking up to this thing, I have no idea what I'm getting. I just know that I'm getting it, right? So as we walk up, like everything we're seeing is convertibles. I'm like, oh, this thing's gonna be a convertible, isn't it? My wife's like, you jerk. She's like, you are totally going to drive this with the top down, aren't you? I'm like, heck yeah. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I drive with the top down? It's a convertible. We're in Florida. It's also the coldest winter on record. So we get the car, put the top down. She's got a puffy jacket on, her hood over her head, the heater on, trying to keep warm. And as I'm doing triple digits, getting around Florida here. And man, I had such a good time. So then the next day, I said to my wife, I'm like, look, I don't care how far down the street we got to go. I'm driving. I was like, I will drive this car everywhere. So I'm so excited about this car. I start like looking it up on YouTube and stuff like that. And it's like, hey, there's race mode. I'm like, what do you mean there's race mode? So like you turn the dial and suddenly it goes from like a just whatever car to, yeah, it's race mode. And it sounded different. It drove so much faster. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I came up with the theory of if I don't go faster than the speed limit, I can get there as fast as I want to. So I would do like 0 to 45 as fast as I could and then just let off the gas. Until I started talking to a cop and he's like, well, he's like, we could get you for unlawful display of horsepower.
Is that even a real thing?
I don't know. I was like, oh, I guess I shouldn't tell you this story anymore. But man, I drove the living crap out of that. I talked to another guy that was down there. It was for our friend's wedding. I talked to another guy that was down there, and he was like, oh, I rented a BMW. I'm like, yeah, man. I was like, is it yours? He's like, no, it's a rental. I was like, so put it in sport mode, man. Just like have some fun with it. He's like, oh, yeah, you're right. So, man, I spent the weekend driving it. There was one point where I'm sitting there, it's like two white dudes blasting NWA, F the Police, if you guys are familiar with that song. Mm-hmm. With the top down at the light. The light turns green, and it's like a quarter mile. We live our life a quarter mile at a time as soon as the light turns green. Man, that was a blast. The car was fun. I don't think it was very well balanced. That's why I'm really excited for the C8.
And now, the when it comes to the C8, Um, and this is actually they've made this car to compete with a Porsche, a McLaren, a Ferrari, because they have these endurance racing teams. And if you don't know what endurance racing is, it's these like hour-long race, like hours long.
Yeah.
Like they
So my
have.
brother and I, we want to do the 24 hours of lemons,
Mhm.
which is like it's an endurance race. But yeah,
But
um,
these cars run and drive for however many hours this race is. So, like BCool just said, 24 hours of Le Mans. It's
no lemons,
lemons, yes.
not Le Mans. There's two different races. One is Le Mans, which is probably what you're talking about. The other one is lemons, which we'll talk about in another episode.
Actually, you said it's 24 hours of lemon.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the second thing that popped up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. That looks
Oh
fun.
no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I died.
But
But yeah, so yeah, they're building a lot of these cars for endurance races. They're trying to figure out like how well they can get through and last, right?
right. But like these cars are made to run for 24 hours without stopping. And it's a long time. Um,
Absolutely.
like the race I'm talking about, Le Mans. This one's I think it's like in France or something.
Yeah, that sounds right. It sounds French.
Let's see.
So there's some really great. I think well there's the Shelby, not the Shelby. What was the movie with Matt Damon and Christian Bale?
Ford v
Um,
Ferrari.
yeah, Ford v Ferrari. That was awesome, and that was set at Le Mans. Which, funny enough, talking about well, that sucked. Talking about Corvettes in movies. One of the opening scenes, they're doing SCCA. They're doing like a small circuit race, and there's a bunch of at the time I think 60s Corvettes or 70s Corvettes in that scene.
Mm-hmm. Um, we'll get to the
Yeah.
Corvettes and movies here in a second. Um, but this going back to the endurance racing Corvette. Corvette has actually been in these races for quite a while now. But the track itself, one lap is 8 point. We'll go 8.47.
Wow.
So almost 8.5 miles for one lap, and you're going around this track for 24 hours. And like the hypercars that compete in it, they can get
Uh-huh.
like 300 something laps in. So if you want to do the math on that, I'm not. But if someone out there wants to do the math, that's how many miles?
Right.
And that's just for the hypercars, which are built a lot differently than the Corvette, which is in its a different class called the GT. It's not called GT3, but it's GT3. Let me see if I can. What is?
Right. So with Porsche, I think what you're saying, like with the Porsche, they have the GT3. Um, they have a couple other.
But it's the GT3 is like a type of car, kind of.
Right.
Because like they have the hypercar and then they have LMP2, which is different. They look pretty cool, but let me I can't find it. Okay, it's Hypercar, LMP2, and LMGTE. So it's GTE. That's what I was going for.
Ah,
Um,
yeah. I think Audi did like an e-tron, like an R8 electric R8 that they wanted to run in. I gotta take this off. Way too hot. That they wanted to run in Ninja. Let's see it. Show it up. Show it up.
I had to close my game because it was just like not letting me play.
Interesting. Yeah.
But you guys don't have to back out unless you guys already did. I don't know.
No, I wanted to back out because I wanted to try a different map. There's a map that I saw somebody play that looked really fun, but I can't remember the name of it.
But
Hold on, I gotta sneeze. All right, not gonna sneeze.
But after you find that map, if you wanna talk about the Corvettes in movies and if you've been able to work with one of them with your job title.
Yeah, so cars and movies. So my favorite Corvette is Corvette Summer. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that movie. Corvette Summer starred Mark Hamill, and he ends up getting a Corvette. I can't remember exactly how he got the Corvette, but it's stolen, and he spends a lot of the movie trying to find the stolen Corvette. I recommend it. It's 70s cinema. You know, not everybody likes 70s cinema because it's like sometimes not every story is told to you like straight up.
Mm.
But let's try Bumper Cars Lava Pit.
Now, have you been able to work with any Corvette while in your job?
I don't think I've actually I don't think I've had a Corvette on set. I've had plenty of other cars, but I don't think I've ever had a Corvette on set. So I'm gonna say no. I haven't. Not the Corvette. Yeah, I can't. Not a single Corvette comes to mind.
That's fair. I mean,
But
not many movies are gonna wanna, unless you're like Fast and Furious. Not a lot of movies are gonna want to pay for a Corvette to be on set.
well, so here's the interesting thing, right? So we've got Corvette Summer. Animal House had a 1959 Corvette convertible. Body Heat had a 1964 Corvette Roadster. Star Trek had a 65 Corvette Stingray. Was that a Stingray? I feel like that was the C1.
I can. The Star Trek, I can see having a Corvette, but at the same time, I don't see them having a Corvette. But...
No, it was. I know the scene, and they were playing Beastie Boys, and it's like when we first meet Kirk, and he's like stole a car, and it's a Corvette. But I thought it was an older Corvette. But anyway, Billy Jack has this 1969 big block Corvette. Apollo 13 has a 1970 Corvette Coupe. You can see in the background in American Graffiti, you can see a Corvette. I think honestly, it's kind of ugly, but the Corvette Summer Corvette is really cool. Now, going back to the C8 a little bit, what was you said the low end of that? I think is 65,000.
Yeah, so the low end MSRP on the
Oh, Ninja, I like that.
on the 2025 Corvette, and this is going back to the Stingray being its own model. So the Corvette Stingray, Corvette Stingray. starts at 70,000, and then you have the E-Ray, which is like their electric. It has an engine in it, but
Mhm.
it has an electric engine in it. That
Oh
goes
yeah.
for like 108,000, and then you have your high-end models, the Z06 at 116, and the highest end model, the ZR1 at 178,000.
Would you rather? And then we're gonna wrap this up for the evening, uh, or at least this show. All right. So, Corvette C8. Would you daily it?
Mm,
Would you daily drive a C8 Corvette?
yes and no. Um,
Yeah.
it'd be cool, um, but I think I'd actually track it instead of daily.
Okay, that's my next question. Yes. So, uh, would you daily it? So, would you track it? And what track do you have a favorite track? What track would you like to see how it performs on?
I haven't done too much research into tracks, but the
Right,
Nürburgring.
but you've raced the Zeto, right?
Yeah, I'd like to test it on the Nürburgring.
Nice. I love
It's
that.
a track in Germany, one of the hardest tracks to
So
race.
first of all, outside of winter, I would 100% daily drive a Corvette. I would drive. I would probably have so many damn tickets. That's the problem. And
Yeah,
one thing that I've understood about driving fast cars, it's not about how fast you can drive fast cars. It's about how slow you can drive fast cars.
but
Um,
then that's no fun.
I know. Listen, I know it's no fun, but it's that's just kind of my thing that I've come to realize. The slower, and I don't mean like, okay, I'm driving 5 miles an hour, but I mean like driving within control of the vehicle
Hmm.
and not just constantly redlining it because it sounds amazing at redline, right?
Right.
But I would daily it. I would have tons of tickets. I would I would probably scare the hell out of myself in a seating.
See,
Um,
that's the thing with one of the car that I really want, which we'll get to at a later time.
so hard top or convertible?
Hard top. The thing with convertibles is uh, the the cloth that comes with it. It
Uh huh.
usually only comes in black or beige. Beige just looks awful. I hate beige convertible soft tops. I don't like how they look on anything. The black
Oh yeah.
cloth you can get away with, but at the same time, you have to have a cover for your car if you're gonna leave it outside. If you do have a
Right.
soft top, because I have actually ran in while working as a mechanic. I have actually had an issue where water leaked through that soft top.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're talking perfect world here. All things aside,
Right.
I'm going convertible. I don't care. I'm taking the problems. I'm going for it all.
Yeah, I just have to go with hard top. I mean, the paint matching and all that. I just can't do
Yeah.
two different colors.
Okay. Would you would you ever race it? We've seen some of those hillbilly raised Camaros and some of those older Corvettes raised. Would you raise it?
No, I would not.
Unlimited budget. You wouldn't raise it.
Mm-mm,
Put it on 38s.
absolutely not. I would not.
TH2. Oh, can you join? Yeah, we're just playing car stuff. Is that you, 2H2? Sorry, got the coughs. We're just playing car stuff right now, guys. Um, let's see how much.
Yeah, no, I absolutely would not raise it. You can catch me dead
Yeah.
raising a Corvette like that.
Right. I mean, you want to track it. You want to whatever else. So, would you ever drive it off road?
Unless I go off road on the track, no. Because the Corvette itself, if I'm not raising it, it sits low to the ground as
Sorry.
is,
Right.
and you're not going to get very far if you decide to take a little shortcut.
Now go. First mod. What would you do?
Mm, we're going
Unlimited budget.
we're going C8 Corvette.
Whatever you want. So your C7, my C8. My C8, I'm supercharging the hell out of that thing.
Now, hold on, because okay, so we say unlimited budget. Are we going base model and then upgrading, or are we taking like top model and upgrading?
Um. All right. So I'm not saying like unlimited budget. Like, okay, I would turn it into a rocket ship.
Hmm.
I do need Buckleys. I do need Buckleys. But I'm talking like you've, like oh, this turbo kit is 20,000, but it's a really good turbo kit versus, well, I could get the stage 1 turbo kit that's 5,000 and blow my motor. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Because okay, so if you get the C8, it comes twin turbo as is.
oh, nice.
So are you gonna
Yeah.
replace that turbo with a supercharger, or are you gonna twin charge it?
Right. So I guess really, really, what I would do is I mean, I need to know a little bit more about Corvettes, but I would more than likely, Jesus, I'm just gonna do a casual race, guys. What I would do is I would most likely increase boost. So I'd have to look into how, like, what that means. Larger turbos, larger intercoolers, you know, whatever that means. But I would increase boost is what I
Are
would
we
is
switching
what I would
paint?
do. I don't know. So
I'm gonna go. First thing I'm doing with the C7,
mhm.
replacing the exhaust system.
Okay,
That is the first thing I'm doing. I'm letting that engine.
something with the grumble.
Yeah, I'm letting that engine talk. Um, and then I'll like upgrade power and all that. But first thing I'm doing is I'm letting that engine talk.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. So, and I feel like the factory exhaust is generally pretty decent, but it could be upgraded.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, the tough part is many times with turbo cars, when you upgrade the exhaust and stuff like that, you add a ton of horsepower because you're taking out the high flow cats and stuff. You're putting in high flow cats, you're putting in better flowing exhausts, and you're taking a lot of like the mufflers, like the secondary mufflers out.
Hmm.
So, um,
But yeah, I definitely put an exhaust on it, and the exhaust talk. Then I'd upgrade
nice.
power. So I'd
All right,
probably do like like internal engine work. So I'd upgrade the cams, upgrade the pistons, because that will also
nice.
help with the sound.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. $67,000 budget, right? You said that was the base model, the C8.
Base model C8 starts at 70,000.
Oh, 70,000. Sorry, you've got 70,000. What else would you rather buy? Doesn't have to be a car.
70,000 can get you quite a. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
good.
go. Personally, I'm gonna go with my dream car. Corvettes are cool,
Okay.
but I have a dream car that I pretty much do anything for.
Nice.
And I could probably get it imported with that amount of money too. For those who don't know, importing a car means importing it from either Europe or Japan or wherever the car is. So I'd get mine imported. Okay.
I think
Right-hand drive.
I think 67,000, 72, 70,000. What am I doing instead? What am I doing instead? I mean, that's a really nice heli trip to Alaska.
Yeah.
That's a really nice trip to Japan.
70,000 can get you quite a bit.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what I would get instead. You know what's kind of crazy? So I'm a Volkswagen enthusiast, and the Volkswagen R line is kind of like their Stingray or Raptor or SS version, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the R line, I think the newest R line is like $80,000. So when you're talking basically like an all-wheel drive GTI for $80,000 versus the oh no.
Stop looking.
Versus are you really? Man.
I don't know. Fortnite's been. I mean,
I just think I don't know. I think I would be into the C8. I think I'd do it. Although I don't think I'd buy base model.
what would you get?
I,
What were you thinking?
I'm scared to answer that because it's probably too close to the reality. I haven't looked at them. But I have not looked at them because I know if I do, I'll probably end up really, really, really wanting one. And I shouldn't get one. But I did have a coworker that bought one and said he let me drive it. He never let me drive it.
What is it? I'm curious now.
He has a C8. It's a blue C8.
Is it a C8?
I think what might have been like a leftover or return or whatever else. Like I know he said he got a good deal on it. But I think his version was a little bit closer to a three-figure vehicle. But I don't know. The hard part is that if I'm spending that much money on a car, I'm test driving a lot of cars. I'm test driving a Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
I'm test driving. Like there's just a lot of cars that I'm driving just to make sure that I'm spending that much money on something that I really, really, really want. And then, then the next thing that happens is you have such a nice car that you want to keep nice. And you end up, it becomes a garage queen.
Right. And here's the thing. So while you guys are racing, at a $70,000 MSRP, you can get Audi, a BMW, high performance Nissan,
Right.
Corvette, Lexus. Like there's a lot that you can get for $70,000. Granted, now if you want to do like ZR1, which is starting at 173,000.
See?
Let's
And you know what I've heard? I've heard the ZR1 or the Z1 Camaro is just as fast.
I mean,
And a lot cheaper.
oh yeah. So at 173,000, You okay? Yeah, you have the Corvette. If you're into them, I'm not. You have Land Rovers. We have the Mercedes Maybach, Porsche
Yep.
911, Mercedes-Benz G-Class. So that
No, absolutely. I think there's a lot out
zero
there
one
that
is
is
up
like
there, but it also competes
one
with the
one
Porsche.
thing I will say. I've talked to a lot of um, exotic car owners, and a lot of them have said that like the nice thing about a Corvette is that you spend 120, right? I'll just put 120 out there. You spend 120, and like maintenance is cheap. Uh, like as soon as you take it off the lot, you lose a lot of money, but at the same time, it's like a much cheaper to own. If
Mhm.
you're looking at I like the Ferrari 360, right? So that's in that 100,000 range, a little bit more, a little bit less, depending upon what you get. Every 20,000 miles, you got to do a 10,000. You got to do it like a $10,000 service to it. You don't have to do that to a Corvette. That's the nice thing about a Corvette.
Now,
Um,
here's a story. When I was working at Firestone, uh, we had we had someone come in with a C8 Corvette wanting an oil
mhm.
change. Obviously, we turned them down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
Interesting.
I mean we kind of had to because the lifts that we have uh, in that building aren't
Hmm.
meant to lift mid-engine cars
Oh, yep.
because you have
I
the
can see that
weight more
happening.
in the back, and that's just a disaster waiting to unfold.
Yeah.
Plus, we're not. It's like, why are you bringing your $100,000 car to Firestone to get an
Right. I
oil
mean, so
change?
like the Jiffy Lube near me is kind of cool because you just drive in and they just walk down underneath so they can just reach up and grab whatever, do whatever. So
Right.
they don't have to jack your car up. It just drives in, drives out.
But I mean,
And I mean that's kind of smart, right?
yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, at the
But
same
I mean, a
time,
lot of these people, it's probably somebody that just bought the car and didn't fully realize like hey, like they didn't think about this is a mid-engine or whatever. They just thought like, hey, I need a oil change and it's cheap here. I mean, could you imagine taking like a Ferrari or a McLaren to a Firestone or a Jiffy Lube for
I could
for an
not
oil change?
because
I think if I was the tech, I'd be like, you got to be out of your mind.
I've
Like,
actually worked on a Bentley Flying Spur before. And
yeah.
that's around $100,000. It's a Bentley. It's an expensive car, but um, at Firestone we had a poster. It's funny that you bring up the Ferrari because we had a poster that had like the wheel torque specs of um, different vehicles, and
Uh-huh.
for whatever reason, Ferrari was on there, and I think it's like the La Ferrari model of it.
Okay.
And the wheel torque is about 431 foot-pounds just
Wow.
to torque the lug nut down to make sure it's tight on the wheel.
That is nuts.
So if anyone had come in with a Ferrari, first of all, they wouldn't even come close to the building. We'd say, get out. Because no one's touching that car.
Right.
But even if the off chance they were like, yeah, go ahead, we'll bring it in, we'll do your oil change and tire rotation, no one would be able to torque it down because our torque sticks only went up to like 250.
Right. And now you use those like they're probably like this long or whatever, like red. They have a couple different colors depending upon the torque value, right?
So those are torque sticks. Those are meant for putting lug
Uh-huh.
nuts on. But then you have these torque wrenches that you can set to a certain value and then actually
Oh, okay.
get
Yeah.
it down. Ours
Yeah, I
only
thought
went
you were
up to
talking
like 250.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think I have a torque wrench. It might. I don't think it even goes past 100.
Yeah, so a car that you need to torque down to like 413 foot-pounds, that's just not
Hmm.
happening. But that's also a
Absolutely.
lot of strength that you have to push down 400 foot-pounds of torque. It's a lot.
Yeah. All right, Cosmic, how you feeling? Do we have anything else we want to cover about Corvettes? We talked about the Stingray. We talked about the original. We missed the 80s Corvette, which to me looks like the 80s Camaros. I mean, those things are just almost
You
identical.
said 80s. Let
Um,
me look that up and what
yeah, I want to say the
generation.
C4 Corvette.
You're saying C4? Let's see.
Yeah. Um, the C5 Corvette I think is really nice looking.
So you have C1 1953 to 62, C2 is 63 to 67, C3 is 68 to 82. So your 80s would be the C3 and C4,
Hmm.
ranging from 1968 to 1996. Those two models.
Right.
And then you have your C5 starting in 97 to 2004, and then six starting at 2005 to 13, and so on and so on.
Nice.
But
Um, yeah, I guess we'll get into this race here
oh
in a
yeah,
second.
they
We
do.
got three more people ready to need to ready up, but then we should be able to get into this. Um, do we want to do the wheel and
Yeah, we
uh,
can we can do the wheel.
and we'll wrap this up.
We get
Or
Chevy on it somehow. Actually, if we get Chevy, I'll re-roll, and
yeah.
then we'll do it.
So so mayhem. Here's what we're doing. We have too many party members. We should have plenty of party members. We just won't be doing ranked. Um, so for the show for next week's video games and vehicles and video games, we will have a wheel just to kind of like what should we talk about next. So I guess what we'll do, Cosmic. This is the first time we're doing this. Cosmic will spin the wheel. He'll come up with a brand, and then we'll take a couple minutes to think about a car that we could talk about. Because we're not going to talk about the brand. We're going to break it into the specific car. Um, oh, we do have too many party members, but we shouldn't because because it went to ranked. Oh my gosh, that's what happened. That's stupid. This
What's
game.
that?
And and so this this is actually why I've kind of stopped doing the weekend racing because there's just constant issues with this. All right, so here's what we do. Uh, Cosmic has a wheel, and we're going to spin said wheel. It'll come up with the car manufacturer. We are going to wrap this up by talking about potential cars we could talk about next Sunday. In the meantime, Cosmic and I will do our very best to come up with some some more content based on cars, based on video games. Give us some feedback. How did you like this? This is a little bit different. Trying something a little bit different. Let us know in the discords.
What you should
If there's a
also do,
car, if there's a car you want us to talk about in the Discord, let us know.
yeah, what you should also do is in the Discord make a new category for this. So any questions,
Yeah,
we can pull questions out of there, and um,
I like that.
so we're not searching through the general chat or anything for any questions.
True. Yeah, that's a great idea. So we'll change up the Discord a little bit. GG's guys. All right, let's head back to lobby, guys. We're gonna spin that wheel, and I'm gonna call it. I'm turning into a pumpkin. I gotta get up at 4 a.m. Um, but once we get this podcast sent over to the podcasters, I'll figure that out. I would definitely appreciate your thumbs up, your likes, your subscribes once we get that podcast. Vehicles and video games. with BCool and Cosmic. Cosmic, you got that? Should I share your screen?
Yes, give me 1 second.
Cosmic is sharing his screen. Let's see where that is. Oh, we got the wheel up there.
So this wheel has all like the car manufacturers I can think of off the top of my head. This is not all 300. I promise you. This is only like 30 of them.
Yeah, makes
So
sense.
we will be talking about.
What? Oh, what? What will we be talking about?
Mitsubishi. Okay.
Ooh. First Mitsubishi that comes up. You know what we should do? The GT300.
That or the
3000.
Lancer.
Yep. We got the Lancer. All right, we've got some guys. All right. Favorite Mitsubishi, let us know in Discord. We'll be talking about it next Sunday. Favorite Mitsubishi. We'll be talking about it next Sunday.
All right, guys. I think that's going to conclude us for the evening. What do you think, Cosmic? Any last minute thoughts?
Nah, I mean, we've kind of got to everything. But yeah, I mean, we kind of hit everything we
I can
wanted to hit.
So definitely let us know, guys. We our format is Sundays 8 p.m. Cosmic and I will stream, so you can either find me at twitch.tv/bcool1138 or
Twitch.tv
/
I think it's
C6
Cosmic Trouble.
Yeah.
No spaces, no caps, C6SMIC TRX BLE.
See you on the next one, guys.